Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is December 19th, 2023, and we are in the Old Testament book of Job, and we're going to read chapter 28 today. All right, so the friends of Job have finished their second round of dialogues, which resembled their first round of dialogue, which is that very simple argument of if you are being if bad things are happening to you, you're being punished because you're a sinner. Because if you were a good person, then God would give you nothing but good things. And we said that's simple because if we were in the Garden of Eden, that's how it would have worked. But we're not in the Garden of Eden. Satan came along in the form of a serpent and offered us that knowledge of good and evil, that fruit that was essentially a slap in the face of God to tell him, hey, you know what? I don't trust that you put me in a perfect place until I've seen all the bad things that you got rid of. Well, now that's the world we live in, where all the bad things that he got rid of are now brought back in so that we can look at them and say, oh, yeah, you know what? That's why they were gone to begin with. Well, in an ideal world, we tend to say, oh, yeah, we shouldn't have that. But, man, it's really nice, and I want it. And that's our fallen world, and that's our trouble. Now, Job, on the other hand, he understands it's more complicated than that, and he understands that it has to do with God's sovereignty. That's the key to understanding things. Once I figured that out, then I can move on to some other things. God is sovereign. He's the king. He's the owner. He's the boss. He's the big kahuna. This is his creation. Everything moves towards his will. Everything moves according to his plans. Everything that happens because that's the way God wanted it. But what if it happens a different way than what I want? What doesn't matter? I'm not the sovereign. God is. It happens for God's purpose and God's plan. Now, Job takes that in a wrong direction of, okay, it's a clash then. It's God against us. That's not the case. God wants us to be part of his sovereign creation. And then when we get to into this section that we're going to read now, Job finally hits it. Job, in his first round, he hit at that idea of, you know what, if God could come and be a redeemer and could actually be a person, that might help. And that does help because that's Jesus. When he finishes this dialogue today, he gets to a point where he says, you know what, if I actually accept that God is the sovereign, that's the key to understanding. That's where wisdom comes from. Once I understand, you know what, God's in charge. Everything that happens is because God has it. And if I yield to God's sovereignty, well, now I'm living the way I should be. Now it's not a conflict. It's me reaping the benefits of saying, hey, God, you're doing a good job. You're the boss. You do what you need to do. And if you need me to go do something, let me know. So that's the key of that sovereignty is now we're not clashing with God. Once we recognize that it's God's creation and it bows to God's will and not ours, now we're in the spot that we understand things. Now we're in the spot that we're ready to say, okay, yeah, we broke it. How does it get fixed? Well, it gets fixed by God. It gets fixed by that Redeemer who is God come as human form. It's through Jesus. Oh, okay. Well, how can Jesus save us? Well, because God is sovereign and he can do what he wants in his creation, and that's how he wants it. And that way we can be brought back in to where we were at that perfect Eden, even though we've gone the wrong way. So let's go ahead and we're going to read Job chapter 28. Surely there is a mine for silver and a place where gold is refined. Iron is taken from the earth and copper is smelted from ore. Man puts an end to darkness and searches every recess for ore in the darkness and the shadow of death. He breaks open a shaft away from people. In places forgotten by feet, they hang far away from men. They swing to and fro. After the earth, from it comes bread, but underneath it is turned up as by fire. Its stones are the source of sapphires, and it contains gold dust. That path no bird knows, nor has the falcon's eye seen it. The proud lions have not trodden it, nor has the fierce lion passed over it. He puts his hand on the flint. He overturns the mountain at the roots. He cuts out channels in the rocks, and his eyes see every precious thing. He dams up the streams from trickling. What is hidden he brings forth to light. But where can wisdom be found? And where is the place of understanding? Man does not know its value, nor is it found in the land of the living. The deep says, it's not in me, and the sea says, it's not with me. It cannot be purchased for gold, nor can silver be weighed for its price. It cannot be valued in the gold of Ophir and precious onyx or sapphire. Neither gold nor crystal can equal it. nor can it be exchanged for jewelry or fine gold. No mention shall be made of coral or quartz, for the price of wisdom is above rubies. The topaz of Ethiopia cannot equal it, nor can it be valued in pure gold. From where then does wisdom come? And where is the place of understanding? It is hidden from the eyes of all living, and concealed from the birds of the air. Destruction and death say, we have heard a report about it with our ears. God understands its way, and he knows its place, for he looks to the ends of the earth. And he sees under the whole heavens to establish a weight for the wind and apportion the waters by measure. When he made a law for the rain and a path for the thunderbolt, then he saw wisdom and declared it. He prepared it. Indeed, he searched it out. And to man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.